Great. Uh, Without taking much time, I'll come onto the camera now and introduce my very good friend and our guest for today, Ritesh Singh. Uh, Boys and girls, Ritesh has 20 years of experience in digital marketing and activation, during which he has spearheaded businesses for noteworthy national and multinational brands. Before entrepreneurship, he was national director at MEC Interaction, and under his leadership, the business grew by almost 100%. He was spearheading some critical global relationships, resulting in setting new benchmarks within the organization in India and outside India. At Starcom Media West Group, he was leading new business and strategy, apart from working to grow the national business, which was part of global leadership program called Global Impact Circle, a group of 25 people working to deploy tactics in about 80 countries with global organization goals at once. Now, that was his formal introduction, but let me tell you, for me, he's a buddy. He is a fellow UCLA alum. We both were together in one of the cohorts at UCLA. He is co founder and managing director of ARM Worldwide. And what do I say about his organization? One of the finest digital marketing implementation and idea conceptualization and technological activation when required for the businesses. That's what he does. He is the perfect person from the industry where you can learn about how to create a business plan and how to pitch it to the investors, because he has done it by himself, and he will be able to take us through the nuances of how to convert a business plan into a business pitch and get the investors' attention going. Before I hand him the mic, my request to all of you is, if you want to receive your certificate of participation, in the end, my colleague Randeep will come and give you the link of university research where you need to go and research about their business programs, 3 business programs and 3 any other programs of your choice. Submit the form by midnight, and we will be issuing you certificates both from ARM Worldwide and High School Moms. Ritesh, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, man.
For the first time, I'm welcoming you like this formally. Thank you so very much for taking out time for the betterment of these students. The mic is all yours now.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. I think if the formal introduction about myself, it was too much for me. I'm not used to it, but thank you so much. I think, Abhishek, more than anybody else in the entire cohort, you have been an inspiration. The way you have structured your offerings, specifically High School Mom, what an initiative for the society as a whole, and business planning or raising money. I learned after doing 15 years of work experience. This is being delivered to kids at this age. Fantastic. So kudos to you, man.
Thank you, Ritesh.
So can I see faces of kids as well, or no? It is just I'm talking to myself. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, done. So guys, the quick one. When I started working, I had only seen businessmen. I had seen people creating big businesses. The famous names were obvious: Reliance and Tatas, and Birlas, Modis, and they were always an inspiration. Mine never went in that direction that we have to do something, or I have to do something in that direction. I have to be a businessman ever, or an entrepreneur ever. That was not in my mind. But as I started my career, I understood few things early, which were simple: that own whatever you're doing. If you start owning whatever you're doing, results will come sooner and faster, and people will start relating to you more. And that was a very important piece. Go beyond the usual, go beyond what is expected from you, and magic works, right? And if you look at how the expectations are of our parents, of our teachers today, from you guys as students, there's a similar expectation, right? That more than what is required, more than what you can score, go out of your skin, do a little more. Those are basic attributes for growth. And another very important thing which I learned in my entrepreneurial journey was from one of my seniors. His name is Rajkumar Jha. So from him, I learned something which is called observation skills. Right? Observation skills are critical for being a better professional, better human being, And obviously it comes very, very handy when it comes to business or business planning. So, and how this observation skill works, a simple example of this observation skill, how it works is that today, for example, we use Instagram or we use Facebook, or we are a fan of Nike, or we are a fan of Subway or Costa, whatever the brand may come to your head. What all do you know about it? Why do you call yourself a fan of that brand? Why do we call ourselves a fan of a person who's a brand? It could be a Virat Kohli, Obama, or our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. It could be anybody. If somebody is calling herself or himself a fan of a particular individual as a brand or as a business as a brand, why? So asking that why to yourself helps you in improving your observation skills. It helps you going deeper. It helps you connect better with things which others are not connected with, and that gives you an edge, and that helps you do a lot. Just to give you an example, when we work on business or marketing challenges of our customers, we go deeper. Why do they hire us? They hire us because we are able to see what they are not able to see. And why this happens? Because we are not in the problem. We are outside the problem. Therefore, we're looking from a consultant's lens. And that's how we solve the problem. And that works beautifully. That's how we are able to solve multiple problems. We're able to get more business, earn respect, and therefore our business grows. Now, this problem solving approach, which starts with observation skills, that starts with knowledge of the subject, that piece helps us grow as a professional, as a human being, both. Don't worry about too much about your professional life. Get the basics right.
Yes, sir.
You're good.
Yes, sir. You're live. You're live now.
Yes, it's good. Yeah.
Siddhant, thanks for your comment, man. I didn't forget my script. There was a genuine internet issue, it seems, or a platform issue. While it is good to be sarcastic if you know it all, and if you don't know it, then listen patiently, or else you're free to leave. So yeah, we were talking about Wright brothers. Wright brothers had a purpose behind doing what they were doing, while the other guy never had a purpose behind it. So, and that really helped. And that's where the golden circle principle comes back, saying that if you're trying to solve a problem, if you keep that at the core, money will come. For money, we don't do work. We work and therefore we get money. So money is an output of what we do. So we need to focus on what we do, why we do, and therefore money will walk in. Like when I created my organization, which is now 9th year running, we've clocked over 100 crores of turnover. Now in this journey, when I started, I was trying to create a niche for ourselves. Our industry is transactional more and consultative less. And I said, I will create an organization will be more consultative. And that's what we did. And therefore we were able to achieve what we have achieved till now. Much, much more to go and a lot to do, but yet we are at a decent space. Now, whenever, and therefore comes the first, ever you guys are thinking about starting a business, thinking about a business idea, think about a problem first. Answer why. And there are many examples in front of us. Look at Uber. They were trying to solve a mobility problem. They were trying to solve a beautiful problem where there was no one company which was helping people to move from one place to the other on road. They were like in India, you can see there were many taxi corners, but there was no one company. And they solved, and that problem they found out similar behavior, similar business models were existing in across the world, even in US. And they looked at a problem, they solved it. And therefore Uber is what Uber is. Zomato, our big Indian success, an aggregator of restaurants. It started from there, from table booking, and then it moved to food ordering. And now look at Zomato, they are able to help people open businesses. So they've gone to a new level, but they started with the problem. They are solving a problem. Similarly, Nike. Look at Nike story. There's a book called Shoe Dog by the founder of Nike. Read that book, interesting one, how he started. And again, he was trying to solve a problem for athletes. And that's where it all started. All the shoes, focus one is athletes, focus one is sports, and therefore solving a problem. And then money comes in. So that idea, why that idea is more important. A lot of times we get an idea and we're excited about it. So control your excitement, get your observation skills in, understand the consumer for whom that product is being created, that TG, solve that why, and then move to the next step. And in this entire journey, one very important aspect, as I briefly mentioned, is TG. I don't know how many of you understand the abbreviation of TG, but that's called target group or target audience. Apple as a brand is selling to whom? Apple is not selling to a person who's buying lava. Apple is not selling to somebody who is, even for that matter, a Samsung 30,000, 40,000 phone buyer. And it is selling to an audience who has the appetite to spend more than $1 lakh. Now they have done, this is just commercial definition of a target group or target audience. The way we do target group or target audience definition, we go into psychographics, demographics, we understand the personality, we define the personality, we define preferences to an extent that this person will be consuming content on internet. On internet, will this person be on Instagram or not? Will this person be on YouTube or not? Will this person be consuming international finance content or sports content? So we define, even if sports, is this person consuming football or not? Is this guy a football fan but doesn't have time to really watch football late in the night, just reads in the morning about it or watch highlights? So we go that deeper. Just to give an example, Virgin Mobile, when it came to India, Virgin Mobile had defined their brand like a person. They defined that this guy is a college goer, this guy wears a t-shirt and a shirt, and shirt is open, has a headphone in the neck, he doesn't wear a cap, carries a backpack, books and iPod alongside. That's how Virgin Mobile defined that person, and they named that person Rocky. And whatever discussion to happen at Virgin Mobile India, the discussion about will Rocky rock? If that idea, that thought, that product thought or marketing thought will not rock Rocky, that idea will not go through. Extremely critical aspect is TG definition. Understanding the consumer who will pay money for whom you're solving the problem, to understand that person. Now, once we move ahead of the TG part, then comes brand creation, packaging, pricing, promotion, a lot of other things. How my product will look like, how will people perceive about that product, what font will I use, what colors should I use. Look at the high school mom's logo right over here. Beautifully done, a font selection done. The icon has a pencil and a female carved out face in between, saying high school moms, used beautifully the pencil tip and called out moms. So these things are crafted to create a brand. This is brand definition. This is the way packaging of brand has happened. And obviously you guys have seen the way communication happens from high school moms to you guys, to your parents, and so on and so forth. So that's the way personality of brand is created. And then comes the next step where we look at how do we promote our brand? What do we do about it? Now, when we talk about promotion of our brand, we have multiple aspects of promotion, right? We look at, depending on what product are we selling. If you're selling an e-commerce product only, then obviously we will look at more digital ways of selling it. That's an important aspect. And then we move forward looking at print TV, whether we want to use that or not. And partner selection. That's a very critical one. Today, what we do is we have a friend, let's start a business. It doesn't work that way. Whether that partner is equally equipped to work with you or not. Whether that partner has the same goal, same vision or not. Whether the partner has the same skill, then there's a problem. If the partner has a complementary skill to yours, then it works very well. Partner selection is a very, very critical aspect of business growth. A lot of businesses fail just because we have, we don't really select our partner right. So it's a very, very critical aspect of business. When we talk about, when we have defined the TG, when we have defined promotion method, when we have defined your partner definition, consumer definition, when you have defined market, which market will you sell at? What is the penetration level of that market? Who's your competition? What is their market share in that competition? We have to define, we have to get that data, whether you will deploy a research to get that data. And research is where people go physically in the market and therefore find out this information, or it could be through third-party reports. When you have got all this data with you, that's when you start creating a business plan. So this is all theory, and somebody said, Ahana said, this, all these are functions of marketing theoretically. Yes, they are, but they are critical aspect of business planning, because cost planning happens post you have crafted your thoughts. So, and then you start putting in your cost structures in terms of how many employees will you hire, what all functions do you want your employees to be in, at what cost do they come, whether you will have an office in a residential colony or in a very profound area, business hub like a cyber hub in Gurgaon, right? So you cost it out. You cost smaller things like you have to give a laptop to somebody, internet bandwidth, reimbursements which you'll do. Once that costing is done, then you get to know how much of revenue you need to make, what pricing of your product you should have. Is competition selling at $10? Will you sell at 11 or 12? And that's when you start creating your business plan. And then you say, hey, by the end of the year, at price X rupees, I will sell 100 products, and therefore this is the revenue I'll make. This is my cost, and therefore I'll have profit or loss for that matter, depending on your vision and your plan. And to run that business, whether you have to raise more capital or not. Now, why will some investor invest in your business? That's an important piece, right? And I'm going back to where we started from. If you have answered the why very well, then investor will be interested to invest in your business, because she will see growth of your business. She will see that that business is not a Me Too operation. It is not one more of a similar kind. If they see that, they see return out of it. And then it is easy for an investor to believe in you and therefore invest in your business. Now, a aspect in between the two, what value will an investor put for your business? So there is a accounting principle called discounted cash flow method. That discounted cash flow method means that you will create a business plan for 8 years. You will define the entire Excel sheet of profit and loss for 8 years, where you will say after the 8th year or on the 8th year, this is the money I'll make. So then a chartered accountant takes your business plan, applies a discounted cash flow method, where primarily the output of that method is that current value of that future revenue is what? If tomorrow you will earn 100 rupees, what is the value of that 100 today? That becomes value of the company. An investor gives you money basis that value today's money, right? So in nutshell, we started from why we need to create our business. We need to solve that why first, have great observation skills, understand our consumer very well who will pay us money. Understanding that person is very, very important. Do market segmentation, understand our competition and geographical targeting, which market we'll sell in. Create our cost structure, therefore create our product pricing, and fix our goal target of how many units we'll sell of that particular service or product. And then do 8-year planning to take out our current value of the business. Now, investors, they don't invest in an idea. They invest on a working business normally. In maximum cases, you have to show proof that whether your idea is working or not. If your idea is working, they will invest in it. If the idea is not working, they will not invest in it. So, like when we started, after 2 years is what I went to an investor saying, hey, this was our plan. This is what we have achieved till now. Overachieved, underachieved, realistically achieved, showed them everything. This is what we believe we'll achieve in next 8 years. And therefore, this is the value of our plan. So because they had a proof to see in front of them, it was easy for them to invest in us. Right. So I'll be good now. We can take some queries and answer your questions in relation to whatever I've narrated till now.
So thank you, Ritesh. I definitely want to ask a question for the benefit of the audience here. You are a subject matter expert on social media marketing. Now, most of these students are very, tech savvy, social media savvy. Can we just explain it to them how the world of marketing has also changed over a period of time from very traditional sources of marketing to the social media marketing, and why it is important for them to ensure that their brand visibility on social media is narrated or is visible really well, if I can put it that way.
So Abhishek, I had created a story. So this story starts from a YouTube video. So when my son was 3-4 year old, he was watching a YouTube video called Sally the Cap Seller, and I evolved this business marketing story from there. So Sally the Cap Seller in that video is primarily selling caps in a village. From this village, now he has sold caps to everybody. Now he wants to sell more caps. So what he does, he walks to the next village. In that video, he sleeps under a tree, monkeys take all the cap, then he throws his cap, monkeys will throw all the cap, he'll take and go. That happens. But the way business evolved in his case, he went to the next village, sold the caps. He came back, made more, went back. Now he kept on doing that, and he said, this is not a scalable model. I'm alone. How many villages can I go to? So therefore he thought, I have my uncles living in next 3-4 villages. I will go once in a month, give all the caps to them, required caps. They will sell and I'll come back. Now, if you look at this simple thought, this actually created a manufacturing unit and a company-owned, company-operated, COCO it is called in the business parlance, store at his own village and franchisee stores at those uncles' villages. Now, when he kept doing this, once in a month he used to go do his hisab kitab with them, and then he used to come back. Now, interestingly, when he found out that nobody knows this is Sally's cap, he was hurt. That's when he created he called a creative guy. He said, please create a board, write Sally the Cap Seller, write Messrs whatever XYZ, and create my picture, draw my picture on that board. And now go and put this board on all the villages we are selling from. Now, if we look back, all brands earlier, you will see logo as founder's photo. This logo trend came later, right? So that's when it's all started from. That was the first branding exercise. So we saw franchisee, manufacturing, COCO store, and branding. Now marketing and branding had to grow. Now he never had so many uncles living in next villages also. Then he used the first ever marketing stroke promotion method, which was used by kings. Whenever king had to send a message to his, in a way, praja, so what he used to do is he used to send people with drums and they used to announce. So that was actually the first promotion activation. So he used that to activate, saying, hey, go beat the drum, tell people that new caps have arrived in this village, nearby village. And then Mela used to happen, exhibitions, that became exhibition. And then print came, radio came, TV came. Now, if you look at in this story, there is an evolution and complication of media, of marketing, right? And then digital came at the top. And there is an evolution which is happening of business, because he's growing from one village to multiple villages to multiple countries. The minute this complication grows, you need multiple partners, because in China, English will not work. In Japan, English will not work. You need a local person to understand culture, human beings, nuances, color issues, font problems, all that are local. So they created creative agencies. That's where the first business came from. And then you have to deploy that media in different mediums. As I talked about media, right? So media agencies came from. And when digital came, life changed. Now, when first level of digital came, which was in year 98, 99 in India specifically, when people started creating websites, they thought that is digital. But digital changed the shape, because when people create websites, a website is like a shop. How will people get to know that my shop is here? Unless we don't go and tell people. So that's where Google search ads or social media comes in handy. When social media came, world changed totally, because world moved from ads to content, from people to people, peer to peer influence. It moved to that level. If Abhishek will tell me something, I'll believe more than a brand telling me something. Social media enabled that very well. And that's when the evolution of influencers happened. Now, if you look at so many bloggers, so many vloggers, so many Instagram influencers, all these guys are talking about brand. They're trying to push a message out. So, and then evolution further happened. So today, and that to their choices. Facebook is a mass medium. Instagram is a youth medium. Snapchat is little niche, still niche, but evolutionary medium. TikTok came and went. It was, if you look at TikTok, was being used by in pop strata, in income strata, a little lower than the higher ones. I was talking to some people, some kids, there's a guy in a college. So he was telling that their chat medium is Instagram. It is not WhatsApp. And to me, that was a news. I'm saying, wow, right? That people are now, only youth specifically, chatting more on Instagram. So behaviors are changing because of platforms. Platforms are changing because of behavior. So it's a very interesting play which is happening.
In a nutshell, you have to be very agile, boys and girls, moms and dads who are listening in the world of digital era. And let me give you a small example. We were putting very high quality creatives on our social media, and our social media was still reasonably going up. Last 10 days, I started putting handwritten notes on my social media, absolutely no graphics, but very high on content. And in last 10 days, our social media has gone up by almost 4,000. You can imagine that that all of you are actually valuing, you are giving us real-time feedback. So here the learning is that the content is more important than just marketing. And that's what Ritesh has been selling, that be innovative, give out very high quality content regarding your product, your service, and solve the why. If you start solving the why instead of what, I think you would have made a complete difference to the world. But thank you so much, Ritesh, for your time. We are almost running out of time in the session right now. Your parting words, please.
I will say, please watch that video of Simon Sinek, Golden Circle. It'll really give you a good view about why. Something which worked for me very well in my life, in my career. I'm not right now, I've not achieved anything. I'm still trying to do my best. But one thing which changed me, changed my life, is my observation skills. Please be more observative. Don't really be at the surface. Ask more whys, and you will see a sea change in you, in your personality, and that will really help in your life.
Thank you, Ritesh. Thank you so very much. Boys and girls, now is the time for you to go and meet the universities and submit a university research form. The form link is pinned right there on the top of the chat screen. You see there is a bit.ly link. You click on that and the link will open. Go to any 3 universities, inquire about their business programs. Go to any other 3 more universities and inquire about the program that you want to inquire about. And submit that form so that you can get a certificate of participation for attending this workshop with Ritesh Singh, co-founder and managing director of ARM Worldwide and High School Moms. Thank you so very much, guys. We are shutting off the room now. Navneet, if I may request you to stop the streaming, and all of you are now requested to go and meet various universities which are available on the platform today. Thank you, Ritesh, for joining us.